I want to talk about our development and how we handle stress and how we deal and manage with anger and love and people and our own expectations of ourselves. One thing I wanted to say and distinguish us from other animals is that we do have this cognitive conscious brain, but with that comes a really incredibly sophisticated subconscious. Our experiences interact with our DNA, and that creates another sort of dance between chaos and order. Keeping that in mind, how did you develop and how did you grow and how did you see the world and what did it mean? We're not a perfect species and we're filled with flaws. For example, you think it's smart to put all that pressure on your lumbar? What is it? 80% of human beings who live over 40 have back issues. It's because we stand upright. We haven't evolved a better structure to support lumbar, that we're not designed to take that kind of sustained pressure. Another thing that's evolutionarily hardwired into us. Get the sweets, get the fat. Holy I want it all. I want the nutrient-dense food. And that's what our brain thinks. It's not thinking like, oh, are my macros balanced? No. Do you know how many grams of sugar you probably got as a hunter-gatherer and you didn't have bread processing? Next to nothing. There was a natural progression into agrarian communities that grew their crops and agriculture. From there was a natural extension into animal husbandry, inter-clan conflict and war and territories, and now the human identification changes. I'm not just part of this clan that's running around. Now we have walls built and you're my enemy because you wear the color red instead of blue. But all of these things teach us how to interact with the world and how to see the world. Again, unfortunately, our physiology is not made for dealing with the type of world that we engage in. This modern world, since the Industrial Revolution, went 200 years out of the eons of human evolution to get us here. There's going to be a long time before we're able to fully understand the intricacies of human interpersonal connection. And honestly, by the time we get there, we'll probably have evolved past that and it'll be some other problem that we need to figure out, and this is taken for granted. There's this constant game of catching up. This idea that evolution happens right on that cusp of chaos and order. How odd of a trait can you put out there and it be benign and not noticed before it's gonna kill the individual who has the weird genetic trait that might in one instance save their lineage, but in this sense kills them. There's always this balancing act. The first human group that stood upright consistently was probably pretty weird. But it took off because it worked. If that trait showed up somewhere earlier on, that group may have been killed by a predator who saw him standing up in the bush like a freaking walking target. There's this interesting dance that happens on the cusp of that. We're fed so many signals because we were born so prematurely as human beings are. We relied a lot on our caregivers and our siblings and our surroundings to create and explain the world that we're in. There is a lot of research that says that personality is more influenced by genetics than environment. Myself, I believe there's a scale there. I think everything's kind of on a spectrum of some sort or another, from your height to the color of your skin to sexual orientation, that sort of thing. I think that it is influenced by your genetics. Your genetics give you a range that you're going to fall within. Shayna Cordell, you're going to be born with a proclivity to explosive anger and temper tantrums, and it's going to land somewhere in here on a scale from here to here, but you're going to be around this zone, and depending on how things interact with you as you're developing, you're going to grab hold within this range of what made sense. And as children do, you find logic and coping mechanisms to deal with whatever the is going on in your life and explain whatever the is going on with your life. I am Shayna Cordell. What I excel at is overthinking. I was an anthropology major. I am not an expert. I am just a regular ass girl. The Rambling Overthinker. I'm getting off topic here. That's me. Thank you for listening. Ding. Bye.